You are now listening to MrGentleman Like That Podcast presents the Old School Show with Ken, aka MrGentleman,
and the star Roddy Rod, where we talk anything old school.
True.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman of YPG, and the Premier Podcast. Welcome to another episode of MrGentleman Like the Podcast presents the Old School Show. Hope all is well. And you already know, myself and DJ Retro. On this episode, we're gonna talk about what happened to R&B groups. So we're gonna discuss, R&B groups from the '80s and the '90s and 2000s and so on and so on. So, y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, enjoy the first song.
This is DJ Retro, and you are now listening to MrGentleman's Lifestyles Podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Like That Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Like That Podcast. On MrGentleman Like That Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Like That Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Up Series Thursdays, where we have all of MrGentleman Like That Podcast spin-off series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursday at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Like That Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, the Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of MrGentleman Like That Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com. And tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for MrGentleman Like That Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of MrGentleman Like That Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheers!
Hey everyone, this is Chewy, host of Screaming Chewy Show. And hey, what is this you're listening to right now with very inspirational content and music? Amazing. You're listening to the MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And you already know this is the Old School Show, Myself, I got my co-host from the Premier Podcast. We got DJ Retro in the building. Retro, what's up, bro?
Yo, this is the Old School Show. We talk everything old school. I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Yes, you already know. You can check us out every once a month, every fourth or fifth Sunday. So yeah, and this episode we're gonna talk about what happened to the R&B groups, man. The R&B groups.
As of right now, bro, they're extinct as far as I know. But let's dive into it, man.
Facts. Well, we ain't know some of them did make reunions, but we'll get to that a little later. But yeah, let's start off. This group was not necessarily in part of this era, but you could include them in it. let's talk about Jackson 5. You know, because they wasn't part. They wasn't a part of the group, the R&B group era. They're part of the Motown era. You know, with.
But they're so important to history, and they're so important to this conversation. You can't just leave them out, you know?
I mean, yeah, of course they are. Of course, I mean, you could talk about Supremes, and we could talk about Temptation as well, because they play a big part in the group too. But let's talk about Jackson 5, because like, how you feel about them? You know,
man, they were great. You know, you had Michael, you had all the brothers, Tito, Jermaine, and no, they had some great songs. ABC, I Want You Back.
You know, Never Say Goodbye. That's one of my favorites.
Never Say Goodbye is a great song too. I can't front on that. So, you know, during their time, you know, they did great. They basically paved the path of, because I think at the time there wasn't many black groups at that time. I know there was a lot of white groups at the time. Yeah. And then since they were Motown, they were a big hit.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal.
They were a big deal, because I believe they were like one of the youngest groups around that era, around the Motown era. Mind you.
And they were the youngest groups around that era as well.
Yeah, they was, because I believe Temptation was older than them, the Four Tops was older than them, Stylistic was older than them, the Isley Brothers was older. Like they were literally, they were literally the youngest R&B group at that time, and made a big impact. You know, remember originally it was just 4 of them, and then Michael made an impact with Family, and they added Michael into it, and yeah,
didn't they also make Randy join later?
Yeah, Randy joined later, and then when they changed their name to the Jackson, but Jermaine left the group because remember Jackson 5, they left Motown to go to CBS, and Jermaine stayed. And also because Barry Gordy is his father-in-law, but yeah, so Jermaine stayed to do solo. He left when he left the group, but then eventually he came back later. But
yeah, but it birthed the greatest person of all time from that group. So the greatest pop singer of all time.
That's true. Also, like, you gotta think about this. Jackson 5 was so big. They have a cartoon back in the day, yo. Like they had a
that cartoon. I did not know. I did not know they had a cartoon.
Yeah, I heard.
Even now, every day you gotta brand yourself with merchandise and stuff. You know, cartoon. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
big.
Something. Nowadays, everybody got perfume and sneakers.
For real.
The cartoon during that time, wow, that was big.
No, they were big, son. You could call them the Black Beatles. The Black Beatles, because they were big. You could tell that they were compete with the Beatles back then and the Osmonds, because you know the Osmonds was another family.
Right, the Osmonds was another family, right?
Yeah.
But what about the DeBarge? But they were later,
right?
Oh
no, DeBarge was later. Yeah, DeBarge was later. I think they were like in the, if I'm not mistaken, 70s, 80s. I think more towards 80s. I think 80s. I didn't want to say late 70s, 80s.
But what I'm saying is, no, the Jacksons inspired so many different groups that we're about to probably mention or touch on today.
Yeah, they did, and we're gonna start off with we're gonna start off with one of the biggest groups in the '80s, New Edition. New Edition.
Oh,
and which was heavily inspired by the Jackson 5. They was heavily inspired by the Jackson 5. Let's talk about the New Edition. Yeah.
Well, the New Edition, you know, they did start off as kids as well, so you know they basically said that they was gonna that they basically copied the Jackson 5, but they didn't want to name it the Jackson 5, so it's a new edition of the Jackson 5.
Basically.
Is what they were saying.
Yeah.
And you know, they had little candy pop hits, Candy Girl,
just like the Jacksons. Like they had the Jackson sound. They were the Jackson sound more than anything. Like more than any group, they were really Jackson sounded though. Especially with
basically,
and Cool It Now and stuff like that.
They were basically the rebirth of the Jackson during that time.
Yeah,
and then of course you had a lot of breakout stars from the New Edition.
Yeah, let's start off with Bobby Brown, because apparently he left the group early. Bobby Brown left the group early. Well, he got kicked out of the group. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah,
he got kicked out. He got kicked out of the group early.
On stage and shenanigans.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, Bobby Brown career was great. You know, he had the Don't Be Cruel album, My Prerogative.
Legendary. The album was legendary. Don't Be Cruel. But
yeah, he was one of the most successful from one of the
he was. He was.
Because they also recruited Johnny Gill, but he also did his own thing before they met them. So
that's true. Because remind you, when Bobby Brown got kicked out, it was just done for a while, and Johnny Gill was solo. Then I guess later, and I believe it was '87, and that when they came up with the new album. That when they added Johnny Gill, and Ralph felt threatening because Johnny Gill, they're trying to make Johnny Gill the leader.
Yeah, like Ralph was supposed to be he was the lead singer for this whole time.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you're taking my spotlight, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. But I felt like Johnny Gill evolved them heavy. Like his voice just evolved that whole group heavy, which became one of their biggest albums after that.
Well, honestly, it was rebranding. It was basically once every time they change up the members, you would hear a different sound and everything. You know, even with New Edition, they kept coming back, and it was all different. You know, they even went to Bad Boy at one point.
Oh shoot, that's way later. We went straight ahead, yo.
I'm just mentioning everything, bro. But yeah,
I know. But of course, after the '80s withdrew, all the ones to solo career. You know, Ralph Tresman went solo.
Right.
Bobby Brown was through solo. Johnny Gill went solo, and then a group turned into a group within a group. BBD. How you feel about BBD? Let's mention BBD for a little bit.
I'm not too familiar with any other song from them except Poison, which is a good song. You get down with them you get down to it in the club and everything.
Yeah, I know BBD. I heard their album. Kind of recently, and but they had some hits. They had When You See Me. That song, When You See Me. Of course,
right.
Poison. Another song. Bobby Ralph. They had a song with all the boys, with all the guys' name. They had some hits. I mean, but it was a completely different sound from
Well, they were part of that whole New Jack Swing type of era.
Yeah, there was. But we gonna get to that. You know, my favorite era of New Jack Swing. But you know, later in around 2000 and I'm not bugging, 1996, the New Edition got back together. They got back together and had a new album and a tour after that.
Yeah.
which we know how that turned out. Yeah.
Broke them up again.
While I believe all of them went to do different things. Johnny Gill went to another group. I think it was the group with him, Keith Sweat, and
Joe LSG, right?
LSG. There you go. Yeah, and then Johnny Gill joined that group. You know, after New just broke up again. Then of course Bobby Brown was doing hit issues, you know, with the drugs and Whitney Houston and stuff like that. And yeah, because we haven't heard much music from Bobby in the '90s at all.
Nah, but then they come back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they came back. As
another group.
Oh well, New Edition came back again. They came back again when they went to Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, only thing different, Bobby Brown was a part of that. And I mean, they went to Bad Boys. I guess I guess the album was okay for them, but they didn't like it. I heard they didn't like it, so they left Bad Boys after, because they felt like they tried to.
It wasn't their style at all. But what?
Yeah, exactly.
But what Diddy and the producers were trying to do was trying to modernize them into the new era.
Yeah, the new era, and they wasn't feeling that at all. They wasn't feeling that at all.
I mean, the fans didn't really receive it that well, because not a lot of people talk about Hot Tonight at all.
I mean, at some point, I liked that song for a little bit, but then, yeah,
It's not something you could play all the time.
Nah, as I got older, listen to it now, I feel like, yo, this song kind of trash. Like, as I got older, I'm like, nah, I wasn't feeling that. Oh, what were they thinking? And I heard that album too, and it was not good. It was not good.
It wasn't well received by the audience anyway.
Nah, it wasn't.
That's something they had to put in the trash. It seemed like, a lot of people, they have that one trash album that they regret and they'll never talk about or go source about again. Like,
true.
Everybody has that one. But yeah.
And that was New Edition one. But of
that
course,
was basically the New Edition one.
Yeah, but of course they got back together to do tours and stuff like that. And then the movie came out. The New Edition movie came out.
Right.
Which, which was a big thing because they got the Hollywood star, which they got the Hollywood star behind that. But also was a bad thing because them doing the movie and watching the movie brought back a lot of bad wounds to the point that it caused them to break up again.
Yeah.
Yo, why can't y'all get it together? So the update on New Edition is Ralph and Johnny is a group within itself, and Bobby, Ralph, and BBD is doing their thing together. So I know that's the update. But before that, Bobby was within the group with Johnny Gill and Ralph called Empire State at one point as well.
I never even heard of Empire State till you mentioned it.
I think that was more towards when they do like perform when they were doing tours. I think that was their name when they were doing tours. I don't think it was like a group where they were supposed to do an album.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so like when they do tours, since they're not the full New Edition, those three came together, and they just played. They played each other music, and they were the singers anyway, so they could do all the New Edition songs. They were the singers.
So, you had Bobby Brown, Johnny Gill, and Ralph.
Yeah.
Basically, they were the lead singers, so you could play the old songs.
Exactly, and BBD was doing their thing around that time. So yeah. So, but so here's my question to you: would you want to see New Edition back together in 2020, and do you think we're going to get that happen?
It's possible, but not for too long.
Yeah,
because there's so much drama and turmoil that's been breaking them up apart. It wouldn't last for too long. Maybe they'll come out for like a few minutes or for like a song, but they won't make it for the whole thing. That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I feel like the best opportunity for them to really get back together and do a whole new album was when the movie came out. And the thing about it, they was supposed to come out with a new album along with the movie, but it didn't happen. Because they couldn't get together. But I agree. I do want to see them together again. And the thing about it, Bobby just lost his son recently. So yeah. So maybe I feel like this year should be a eye opener for them to, like, with everything going on, where they should put their differences aside and get it together. Life's too short. Especially fight over, stuff that don't matter, So that's how I feel about that. But of course, we're gonna talk about a lot more groups, a lot more breakup groups down the line. So yeah. So the next group we're gonna talk about is Guy. How you feel about Guy?
Guy was cool. They had their little shine, Teddy Roddy. He's great, man.
Yeah. I mean, I know Guy was
Pieces of Love, a good song.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Guy was one of my favorite groups, man. That's definitely one of my favorite. I could play them to this day, like hands down. Like Pieces of, like I said, Piece of Love, Piece of Your Love. I like Let's Chill. One Night Stand. They got a lot of good songs. Oh, Groovy, Me. Like I like them. I always liked them. I like the Guy. Their fun fact though, you ain't know Johnny Gill. I mean, why could Johnny Gill? Aaron Hall, my Podgy.
Oh, Aaron Hall, right?
Aaron Hall, my bad. He was solo in the '90s. He had something like "I Miss You," and stuff like that. But Aaron Hall went down a bad path, with drugs and stuff. And we haven't heard much of the guy in a while. But they one of my favorite group. I want them to come back together though. I want to see them come back together. Hopefully, Aaron Hall gets us together on that.
Yeah, I mean, we also see Teddy Roddy just went into different things as well.
Yeah. We go acknowledge Teddy Roddy. Teddy Roddy did a lot for these groups, like period. Where we go
super producer.
He definitely was a super producer. We go like he did Guy in Backstreet. Well, we gonna get to Backstreet when we get to Backstreet, but let's talk about 2020 Tone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about them. How you feel about them?
They was a cool group. It was a little groovy. I play Anniversary anytime.
Yeah, facts. I mean, we already know who the breakout star for that group is. My guy Raphael Sadiq, man. But 2020, my favorite song for them, of course, Anniversary. Dang, I can't think right now. Crazy. I would just think about that song too before I got on the air. Anniversary. I Feel Good. They go Feel Good. Now they have some hits though. I like them. I mean, I don't know much about the other two guys in the group. I didn't know more about Raphael Sadiq.
Same here.
Yeah. But I don't really know their backstory or like why they separated. But we know Raphael Sadiq. He went solo. Raphael Sadiq went to another group with Lucy Pearl.
Oh
right?
yeah, Lucy Pearl.
Yeah, and Raphael is still doing his thing to the day. He had a new album recently. He worked on the Insecure soundtrack. My guy is killing it, And I don't have much to say about them no more. But let's dive into the 90s, and we're gonna talk about the first group, which is one of the biggest groups in the 90s, one of the most charted groups in the 90s. Let's talk about Boyz II Men.
Oh, wow.
About Boyz II Men. So, little fun fact about Boyz II Men, Mike Bibb from New Edition discovered them.
Yeah.
And another back creation. And it's another group. I know Mike Bibb discovered 3 groups. I know Boyz II Men, another back creation, and it's another group. I can't remember what the other group is, but how you feel about Boyz II Men?
Man, Boyz II Men was great. Their music is so soulful. It's just, great. You had a lot of great songs, and the melodies, everything was top notch. I see why they were a top notch group, because their sound is just up there. It's just like they came out as a perfection in a group, and then my favorite guy was the guy who was talking at the end of the songs.
Facts.
But then he got throat cancer, I think.
Yeah. He got throat cancer, man. Yeah.
And then I was watching the OWN show where he was talking about his experiences and how they started to not mess with him after a while and all this stuff. Like,
oh wow.
So like there was friction there with him and them after a while as well. On top of that, sometimes you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, though.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these groups have problems with each other,
with members. Yeah,
a lot of them.
Things.
And trust me, it's a lot of them in this list. So there's a lot of them with problems in this list.
So you just see them on tour, and you see people missing from the tour, or the news running with it and saying that this person's not in the group, they weren't at this tour, or whatever. They just not coming back from the album, or they got dropped for whatever reason. So there's a lot of stuff. But Boyz II Men, they're great. I love their music. It's very soulful and it's very great. But I don't know. It's like I love their stuff, but I don't want to listen to them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love Boyz II Men, man. I always like this stuff, Motown Philly, End of the Road, On Bend the Knees. They got a lot of hits, and I could listen to their older stuff more than their newer stuff. But even though one of the guys left, they still doing their thing. So there was one.
They stopped making songs after that. That Evolution. Well, what song was on that Evolution album?
Oh, I forgot. I know exactly what you're talking about. I cannot remember what's on the album.
That was like the last song that I remember. Well, my last favorite song was "Don't Let Love Pass You By" from them. Remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that song. But now they
had stuff after that.
They did. I remember they had a cover album where they played they did sample every old school song on it, and I think the album was called Throwback. And I know they had Cyndi Lauper's "Time After Time." They had a lot of songs. They had a lot of songs. Stylistic, Brand New.
Wow.
They had a lot of songs. It was. I heard that album. I was like, wow, that album was dope. That album was dope. But I mean, they did stuff after though. Even as a group, they was on a couple of TV shows and stuff. They was on Fresh Prince. They were also on the Jackson 5 movie. Remember they was in the Jackson 5 movie when Jackie had a fight with one of the dudes. Yeah, that was Boyz II Men. They were also on I want to make sure I'm right with this. I think they was on Grease Live. I think they were on Grease Live. I believe they was on Grease Live too. I think they was on
Moesha as well.
Oh yeah, there was on Moesha. I think one on as well. They did a lot of stuff. But I know they did. Yeah, there was on Moesha. I remember that. There was on Moesha as well. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff, man.
So, it's 4 members of Boyz II Men. They were right.
I think I always get confused with this answer. I think the first album it was 5. Then I don't know what happened to that last guy. I feel like it was 5 members in the first album. Then as for the couple from 2 to 5, it was 4 of them. And that one wanted to do Love because he had throat cancer.
Right.
And then from then to now it's always been 3.
Yeah. So if you go in concert, you're going to only see 3 guys.
Now, yeah. And they still doing music. They still do everything. So they still doing their thing.
I mean, once you a singer, you can sing till the day you die. That's how I see it.
Yeah, pretty much, son. Pretty much. I agree.
Even if you have that one hit, people still gonna pay you to see that one hit.
Agree. And Boyz II Men, they had a lot of hits.
Right.
They had a lot of number 1 hit. And then the Rose was freaking. I want to say 14 weeks number 1. If I'm right, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think it was One Sweet Day.
Oh, One Sweet. I know One Sweet Day was number 1 for many weeks. I think
many weeks as well. Yeah. And
it was another song. There was 3 songs. Maybe it was more than 3, but I know it was 3 songs definitely that was number 1 for many. I definitely know One Sweet Day. I know that off the bat.
End of the Road was another one.
Yeah, End of the Road. I said End of the Road. And it was one. I think On Bend the Knees, maybe. Was it? Oh,
maybe
no.
No.
I Make Love to You. I Make Love to You.
Oh yeah.
That was number 1 for many weeks. I do remember that. Yeah. I feel like it probably was more, but those are 3 that I remember. Those were the 3 that I remember.
Right. So, yeah, Boyz II Men, great group. Always go down as legends. You definitely can't mention groups without them.
Alright, but before I go to the next person, so let's think about verses.
Sure.
Alright, so if you had to pick a verses for them, who would you rather have Boyz II Men going against?
Ooh. I mean, you always said maybe New Edition. But I'm also throwing my hat in for the Isley Brothers.
That would be a weird choice for Boyz II Men. Isley Brothers, that would be a weird choice.
Too weird?
Yeah,
it won't be too
weird.
It'll be too far off?
Yeah, I mean, if we wasn't talking about Isley Brothers, Gap Band would have been perfect. Charlie
Gap
Wilson,
Band, there we go.
Charlie Wilson, and which is a group. So it's the old school group, which is relatable for this conversation.
Right.
It's relatable. So, but if I had to pick, I would say, like I said, New Edition, and the next person on this list, which would be an instant pick, would be because they both R&B group, but they are different style of R&B groups. You know, Boyz II Men were known as the good guys, and I want to talk about the bad boys of R&B. Let's talk about Jodeci.
Jodeci.
Yeah, Jodeci, man. The bad boys of R&B. They was really the bad boys of R&B.
Yeah. Tell you, Jodeci made an impact with these freaky love songs like they had. Like, boy, it was like I don't know if I should say this, but it was like they was basically teaching guys how to ask for sex through lyrics.
True. I mean, you think about it, that has songs like freaking "Come and Talk to Me," "Forever My Lady," "Freaking You," like
literally
off the bat.
In my eyes, they probably wasn't the first, but they were the most popular guy group to ask for sex through lyrics. They were the most popular.
I think they were. I actually think they were one of the first. I think that was one of the first. I think that was one of the first, actually.
So they basically evolutionized that right there, because you had that, and then the way they was dressed in the videos. You know, Diddy took his time.
Exactly. Yeah.
All this stuff, you know.
Mind you, they, like I said, they were the bad boys of R&B. They did not care. They wanted to do things their way. Like Josie wanted to do things their way, and they did. And they were talented brothers. You know, they had many hits. I heard one of the members, I think Deontay. He made a group out. He had a record label out of them, which had Timbaland, Missy.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too.
Aaliyah,
From Missy's documentary.
Yeah.
She said they had Tweet too when she was unknown and everything.
Yeah. Tweet was in there. Yeah, Tweet, Magoo. Yeah, and he was doing his own thing. Missy had her group, and I don't know the full story about that. I didn't know that they just ended it. I think he got greedy. I think he got greedy or something, and then just ended it completely.
Nah, but he
Yeah. You probably know what you say. What happened? Tell me what happened about that.
No. When Missy was telling her story on MTV, he was saying that they was abusing them, and you know, they was beating them and stuff and whatnot. They had, it was basically like a dungeon too. You know how, you know. So they was all in there practicing and doing work and making songs. So he was basically a dictator trying to rule them, and they wasn't having it. So obviously Missy, Timbaland,
and Aaliyah,
took Genuine and Aaliyah, and they said, you know what, we're gonna go make our own label somewhere else. Pretty sure Treat came later.
Yeah, Treat. I think Treat was a writer. She was a writer she wrote many songs. So she was always with them until later actually her doing music. She came out with her music later. But
because we didn't know about Tweet until like 2001, 2002. Yeah, so maybe that's when she got to Timbaland.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think she was always there.
She was like behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think she was always there. I think she was a writer. I believe she was a writer. Yeah, I believe she was a writer. I believe that she was. But
she had the opportunity to be bigger than she was.
Yeah, I think she was. Mind you, when it comes to artists, when they known to do one thing and not the other, it takes them a while to actually do the other thing. Like, for example, this who not related to this conversation, Kanye, for example. Oh. You know, he was a producer first, but they didn't find out he was a rapper until later. So, you know, with Treat, she probably was a writer first, and then it probably would try to be an artist until later. And when I first heard Treat,
I guess the same thing with Mario Winans, because he had those two songs.
Yeah, true. Well, this is the old school show. We can talk about Mario Roddy. He did have
No. It's just a brief mention. We don't have to like pick on him.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I could pick on him a little bit because he had a family group, the Winans. So he
was part of the Winans, right?
Yeah. He part of his family.
You mention.
Yeah, so with
I really forgot he was part of the Winans. I thought it was just BB and CeCe.
Nah. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot of them, son. It's a whole lot of them.
I don't know that history, but okay.
I know a little. You know, my family grew up from that. But you know, with Mario Winans though, he was like with Diddy behind the scenes, a writer. No, perfect example. He made some songs in '97, but overall he was a writer producer until he actually he broke out with that 2000 in the album 2000. So
that I Don't Want to Know song.
Yeah. I Don't Want to Know. The album. Yeah. But back to Jodeci, because you know it's do Bad Boy related, or Uptown Records, you want to call it. Yeah, after that broke out, you know, Casey and JoJo became a group on their own. You know.
Yeah.
And they came up with hits. You know. But of course, doing that Jodeci thing, KC was bugging out. Devontae was the only one bugging out. KC was bugging out too. You know, he had a nice young lady. He was dating a nice young lady named Mary J. Blige, and they were doing drugs together and stuff like that. And yeah,
boy was she singing in her songs for some of these relationships, boy.
For real.
It made great music making for them few albums she had, but enough about that.
For real, Casey played a big part in Mary J. career. One of her parts. Let's just say
she had a whole bunch of abusive boyfriends, but that's another talk for another day.
Yeah, we go mention that on a later episode of the old school show. But next artist we're gonna talk about, which I mentioned earlier, was a part of Teddy Riley's crew, Blackstreet. Let's talk about Blackstreet.
Woo! Love me some Blackstreet. I play No Diggity all day, bro.
Yeah, that's a classic, yo. That's a classic, man. And you know, he was also a part of Teddy Riley. I liked their Blackstreet, but they didn't have. I didn't like everything they had though. Let's just say that. Like, I really just liked the No Diggity.
But what's his name was a breakout star in the beginning. I didn't remember this.
Dave
Hollister.
I'm not gonna front.
He was on Before I Let You Go, right?
Yeah, and you're not gonna front. I'm not gonna front. I didn't know Dave Hollister was in that group until like recently, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh, Dave Hollister was in Backstreet since when?
You know how I found out? I was watching VH1 Soul and they played the video. That's the only way I found out.
Oh wow! I was on YouTube and I be watching these like RnB stories, and they mentioned Dave Hollister. I was like, oh snap, Dave Hollister the Backstreet, wow. And that's how I find it. And Dave Hollister, he's doing his thing. I mean, I haven't heard much from him
lately, but
yeah, I mean,
he's been blessed. He's been blessed to go into the R&B / gospel realm.
Yeah,
he's not the only one, but he's been blessed to juggle between those two. So he's been dibbling and dabbling on both R&B and gospel songs over the decade.
Yeah, pretty much, son. And yeah, big things, man. I know my favorite song for them is "Never Let You Go."
Yeah,
and "No Diggity." And
right,
and I like the deep, indeed. You know, I like the deep as well. And
what about when they did the remix to "I Get So Lonely" with Janet?
Nah, not really. I don't know. That's one of my songs I didn't really like. I wasn't really a fan of that song like that. I prefer Janet to keep the original. I didn't like the remix.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just me. All right, but let's talk about, you know, we go dive into Bad Boys. We got to dive into Bad Boys. Let's talk about 112.
112. Oh man, don't make me go there.
we going there, son. We going there, son.
Big fan. Love all their stuff. In my eyes, 112 can never do wrong. Like, I was a fan of all their albums. And basically, to this day, I made like 1 or 2 songs from every album.
No, I agree. 112 it was actually one of my favorite groups as well. You You know, one big group of the '90s. You know, Only You. You know, they had Only You. It was just crazy because their first song was with Biggie. Was Biggie, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal for 12. You know.
But honestly, I think Puffy do Biggie on like mad R&B artists on that label as their first or second song anyway.
Yeah, because Biggie was on the rise around that time, so it's smart to do that, you know. But yeah, I mean, I always liked that 112, but 112 is one of the groups that can't get it together. One of the groups that can't get it together. So, you know, as we know recently, now is only Slim and Mike in 112 right now. Everybody, the other two guys left. Jerron and Q left 112. And story behind that, I'm not really sure what the story behind that. I think it was something this from what Slim said. He said that the two guys try to be bigger than the group.
What?
That's what I heard. Some said the two guys would try to be bigger than the group. Cause mind you, after a while, they all would do a solo. No, it was not only Slim. Cause you know, Slim came big. Slim was already big. He was a breakout star. But all of them would do solo. All of them, and I heard all their solo stuff. It was decent. It was decent. But of course, Slim the big star, and I heard a lot of fans wanted y'all to get back together. And I heard, you know, Slim and Mike wanted to. Slim and Mike wanted to do it, you know, for the fans. But the other two guys didn't want to do it. Basically, I guess they were just being selfish. You know, that when we saw the verses with them and Jagged Edge, there's only two guys.
Yeah, and we was wondering what happened to the rest.
Yeah, because
we thought they had replacements.
I think they had replacements during when they were performing. Not under, but when they made that the latest album, some mentioned that it didn't feel right at the replacements, and he didn't want it to be them two. But they try to make it as much to make it sound like 112. I'm trying to make it like a 112 album as much as it can. And I heard the new album, son. I can't even front. It did sound like a 112 album a little bit. It felt weird because there were two of them, but it did feel like a 112 album. I had to say, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 112 was a great group for Bad Boy. They had a longevity, man. Like
they did.
You don't last on Bad Boy that long.
I agree. Yeah, I think that was one of the
You do not last on Bad Boy that long. Like it looked like Diddy would judge you on your first album and your first few singles.
Yeah.
And these guys probably had like a good maybe 5 to 6 albums on Bad Boys, so which means they were selling.
Yeah. I brought one of their albums. I believe
which one?
I believe with the you already know. But
that one? Okay.
Yeah. That was a dope album. I have to say.
I listened to Room 112. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, of course I listened to all the albums, but I think that one was the only album that I actually brought. Yeah. But you know, next person we're gonna talk about the versus competition. But always been in competition. I feel like we've always been in competition over the years. Jagged Edge, who was on So Def. Let's talk about Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge. I'm not as enthusiastic about Jagged Edge music. It's just not my taste. They had a couple of slow songs I like Promise and Walk Out of Heaven and He Can't Love You and Where the Party At, but no.
I can't even be mad at you on that because I wasn't too big on Jagged Edge either. It's just certain songs. It was just certain songs that I like from them as well.
And don't get me wrong, they're not a bad group. It just wasn't my taste for them as a group, you know, for their music. They didn't bring the oomph.
I agree.
That I would like in an R&B group, and it's just the way it is.
I agree. I mean, yeah, I was a big fan. I mean, I liked their music, but I wasn't a big fan. I was too keen or too heavy. Like, whoa, let me listen to that Jagged Edge album. I didn't really care.
It wasn't like that for you too, right?
Yeah, it was just certain songs like I like Get Married, I Promise, Walk Out of Heaven. Yeah. But it's another group on this list that I wasn't a big fan of in the 90s, but we're gonna get to that when we get to that. But here's the next group who I was a big fan of. Let's talk about Dru Hill.
Oh yeah.
This is Dru Hill was the one group that I was a big fan of. I love their music. They had many hits. I love their music. But once again, Dru Hill was another group that can't get together. But let you speak first. Let's speak first how you feel about Dru Hill first before we get to that, though.
Man, Dru Hill, that Sleeping in My Bed and that Sleeping in My Bed remix, forget it.
Classic, yo, classic.
I was a little kid singing that song word for word.
Oh, man.
Literally a little boy, because I think we was like 8 or 9 when them songs dropped.
Yeah.
Boy, like them. They had some great music. I can't front on Dru Hill, man.
Nah, they did.
Even when, and it's like a group that all the members took turns singing lead.
Yo, that's true. And Nokia was the rapper kind of guy. Nokia was like the rapper / hype man. Like he always was in the ad-libs.
Right. So like there were songs with what's the big guy name? I forgot. Jazz singing lead, and Cisco wasn't the only one singing lead, so it was just a different group. It was just a different style of a group to me.
It was, but let's talk about why they can't get together. So Dru Hill did have hits. Cisco had a big thing about him and the other guy in the group named Woody. And
Woody.
And they had a big fight, and then Woody left the group, and then he replaced him with another guy, but I can't remember his name at the moment. The guy that every day I'm added to on Dru Hill, but he was dope too. That when he had the I Love You, the album, the song that had I Love You on it, and I forgot the other song was I Should Be. They go I Should Be, and yeah. But also around that time as well, Cisco was solo, and of course, nobody's surprised that Cisco was one of the breakout stars in Dru Hill. His solo song was a big hit as well. Incomplete, I Lead the Dragon, Song Song. Yeah, but as we continue with Dru Hill, they got worse. I remember Keith Sweat had them on a reality show. Yeah, I see that reality show, man. It would painful to watch, man. It would painful to watch. It would painful to watch. And they came out with an album from Independent Day. I did an album called Independent Day. I believe that was one of their last album they came out with. Was called Independent Day, and the album is bad.
Pretty sure.
To the point that everybody else for Dru Hill left the crew.
Wow.
Yeah. So now it's just Cisco and 2 random guys now.
Yeah, but with all these changes, you're disappointing the fans and
exactly. Because
we don't know these guys. We don't want to see them perform.
Oh, exactly.
We want to relive our early days of Dru Hill when we had Nico and Woody and Cisco.
For real, I agree.
But I did go to a performance with them, and they did bring back jazz.
Oh wow, nice. I'll be sure. Wait, what year was that?
That had to be out of 16 or 15.
Oh no, okay. Because Jazz was doing the group. Jazz was doing the group around that time, I think.
Oh really?
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was. Or unless he took a break for a while and he came back. Because that was around the time that that reality show came out. Was around that year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
remember if they brought Woody and the other guy for the tour. They probably didn't. I think it was new people.
Probably. Cause I know when Nico and them left the group. Nico left the group, I believe, last year. So
wow.
yeah, so it was pretty recent. It's pretty recent.
Damn, Drew Hill's one of them groups though. I wish they would have got us together, man. I want to see them.
I agree. I want to see them with another album, son. I agree with that. But,
another good album.
I agree. Another good album. A classic R&B group album. I want to see that. How Montrell managed to do it. I want to see Drew Hill do it as well.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel a little bad because Roddy. Do you know why I feel bad, Roddy?
Why?
Because we haven't mentioned no ladies yet, and I know ladies listening, and they're probably wondering how come we didn't mention no female groups. I know. I apologize, ladies. So we're gonna start with this. Let's talk about TLC. One of the biggest R&B female groups, in my opinion. You think? You agree? Oh, you agree? Okay. Let's talk about
our time because they had groups before them. But,
of course. But before we talk about them, do you remember any female groups in the 80s? Because I don't remember. I'm not sure if I remember any.
Nah.
Not that you know it, right?
Nah.
I how you feel about TLC?
Love them. They had some great hits. It was pretty bad what Pebbles did to them.
Yeah.
And they had to do bankruptcy and all that stuff. And Left Eye was a wild child, and she caused the group some more debt. But their music is great.
I agree.
Creeper's my number one for them.
Red Light Special for me. Of course, Creep. Let's Be Friends. What About Your Friend? I love TLC, man. But of course,
I didn't like them when they had that No Scrub song.
Nah. I didn't like No Scrubs, but I liked it. The second single they had for the album. I didn't like. I wasn't too much of a fan of.
No, I'm saying No Scrubs was a male bash song, and that was
it was.
That was when like a whole bunch of male bashing songs started to come out, like right after, like during that year and the years after.
That's true, but you gotta blame Tiny and Candy from Escape for that, because they wrote the song. They wrote that song.
They probably wrote the other male bashing songs that I'm thinking about right now too, possibly.
I would not be surprised, man. Escape was, hey, we can talk about them later, but yeah, but they play a part. They play a part in that,
it was pretty sad that Left Eye died, because after Left Eye died, they really couldn't like go on with the group, or it wasn't like selling.
I agree.
Without her. It was something missing there. It was just a missing piece, so it just fell apart.
Agree, and it's even to this day, it's fortunate the way she passed away, though, man. And and you're right. They could they try to continue. Yeah, they try to continue as much. Even though it didn't feel right. I know to T-Body and Chili, it didn't feel right, but they had to do what they had to do to continue the legacy.
Yeah, once you got these contracts, you got to fulfill these contracts. So
exactly.
That goes. And if they want you for 4 albums, you got to make that 4th album, whether the person did or not.
Yeah, true.
And that's what they did.
They did as much. They tried to include Left Eye as much as they can. With old
vocals, right?
Yeah, and stuff. But like even to this day, recipe to Left Eye, man. To this day, recipe to Left Eye. I'm gonna drop a fun fact though. Did you know Left Eye discovered Black? Left Eye put that group together. You know that, right?
I didn't know that she discovered Black. I just knew that one of the girls was a friend or a family member of hers.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah,
because her style was basically Left Eye. It was like she mentored her.
Definitely. And recipe to them too as well. 2 of them passed away like over the years.
Oh, the other girl too?
Yeah, 2 of them.
That was the girl? Okay.
Yeah, and the other one is one of New Dish's wife. So yeah. And yeah, it's crazy. Recipe to all of them, man. So the next group, which for me, I had mixed feelings about them, depending on the music, is another female group. Let's talk about Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child.
Yeah.
I can admit, as a dude, I was not feeling Destiny's Child. Growing up as a little boy, listening to Destiny's Child wasn't for me. Sorry.
I agree. Me either.
I'm a dude, so I have the right to say that. You know, it's just really amazing how far they came, like,
yeah,
and the impact they made during that time, like, you know.
Because let's break it down for a little bit. So, you know, Destiny's Child, they started with 4 people, which was Beyonce, Kelly, LaToya Luckett, and I can't remember the other girl.
Some girl named Latavia, I think, or something.
Latavia, yeah. Then they kicked that. Then they kicked them 2 out, and then they added Michelle.
Yeah.
And that when Destiny's Child became big. But I don't know what happened to the other girl. LaToya Luckett became big.
Right.
In at the years of she was dealing with a lot of her personal life. She became big after a while. You know. And then of course after a while, Destiny's Child also became a big female group as well. We gotta give them credit when they do. We gotta give them credit when they do. Even though I was a big fan of them, but they became a big group. But we already know who was the breakout star. I don't think we need to mention it.
Nah, we already know.
We didn't know who the breakout star is.
Kelly had a good solo career.
Yeah, Kelly had a good solo career, and Michelle was more the gospel. She was more gospel and stuff like that.
I don't know. I didn't follow the gospel much. I wonder if she made it real big in there.
I think she did good. She did good. She did good in that film. Yeah, but then of course later she was dealing with a lot of mental health problems. You know.
Oh wow. Yeah,
and that was unfortunate for her. You know, dealing with depression and stuff like that. You know, but I'm happy that she's doing better now. So that's all that matters. And yeah, and you know, Beyonce became one of the biggest female artists in the world.
Yeah.
As much I hate to admit it, it's true. So I'm gonna move on to the next topic before it get awkward. So let's talk about SWV.
SWV, man. You know, it's crazy that, you know, when they drop, I didn't really know about their stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like recently I started to listen to their stuff. Cause honestly, growing up, I wasn't allowed to like listen to certain type of music. But I listened to them and I'm like, oh shoot, they had these songs, they were dope.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. But I mean, it wasn't because I couldn't listen to them. It was like, when it comes to a lot of, like when you're younger, when you listen to these songs, you like them because you like them. But you didn't know the true meaning of the song when you're younger.
Obviously, that too.
Yeah, as you got older, you start to realize, like, oh snap!
What they were talking about this?
Yeah, and you know, at the V, you know, with rain. As a kid, we thought it was this rain, but as an adult, they really talk about sex. And yeah,
Downtown, and a couple of other stuff. Like their writers were really sly with the freakiness.
Yeah. Also, so into you too. I'm so into you. They don't talk about sex as well. And I listened to the lyrics. I listened to the lyrics one day. I listened to it like, yo, I didn't, you know, Hiker, you know, it's old school. I love old school, so I listen to the songs, and I listened to the lyrics. I'm like, oh wow, it really caught my attention. Like, oh wow, like they was really slick. Like, with 90s.
Mostly back in the day, a lot of the writers were really slick with their writing. They didn't come all the way out.
It was
you had to really listen and pay attention, because even a lot of TLC songs were sexual, but you wouldn't know unless you listen closely.
That's true. There's a lot of artists, you know, Jodeci was out there already with it.
Of course.
Blackstreet was
like
that. The next artist we're gonna talk about next was like that, you know, and But yeah, but let's before we could get to them, SWV. I like the SWV though. I really like them. They were a dope group. I don't know about them fully, like what they up to now and stuff, but I do heard that they want to do the verses with Escape. So,
and we're all for that. We're all for a SWV versus if it's Escape or somebody else.
Yeah, this is Escape or TLC.
We're all for it.
I'm
Come through. We're gonna have a good night.
All right. So this next artist, I believe this is one of your favorite groups, but this is not my favorite group that much. Let's talk about Next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Next.
Next, man, they had that album, man, Butter Love, Too Close, man, Wifey. I really liked them. They had RL was the breakout star, and he had that other guy was doing vocals too.
Yeah. I know for me, I liked their music, but they was not the group that I didn't really care about that much. Like I said with Blackstreet, they was another group. No, not Blackstreet. Jagged Edge. They was another group. Like, oh, let me check out that next album. I didn't get that vibe.
But don't get me wrong.
You know,
they died out very fast. They really had like only two albums, and then RL went solo.
Yeah, and
then that's it.
Yeah, I mean, not really talk about for them as much. I mean, I did like the song about Buddy Love and Wifey, but I don't really have much to say about that. But they made a cameo on Jaheim's song "Anything."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they made a cameo, but I don't have much to say. You know, RL was the biggest star. He had an album. He was a couple of R&B collabo songs. I believe that was on. I believe that was either from Soul Food or soundtrack, or it was the Brothers soundtrack. I think it was the Brothers.
Yeah, The Best Man I Can Be. Remember that?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, Best Man. Yeah, the Best Man. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I can say about that. But let's switch it a little bit, son. Cause we have the pop groups as well, son.
Wow.
Pop groups as well. You know, we have New Kids on the Block. We have Backstreet Boys. And we're gonna talk about this group, NSYNC. You know, how you feel about NSYNC? Because they started off at pop, but then they tried to change to R&B later. So how you feel about NSYNC?
I ain't gonna lie, I love their songs. I was more of a NSYNC fan than Backstreet Boys fan, because it was all competing against each other during that time. But I would more enjoy NSYNC song, and then of course, you know, Justin Timberlake, the biggest star in the world, came out from there. So it was
that true. I agree. I was an NSYNC fan as well. I'm not even gonna front. Bye bye bye. You know.
Even Tearing Up My Heart.
Tearing up my heart. Yeah. NSYNC has a song, but I know I mentioned that they were trying to change to mainstream, to urban music. You know. I know later down they did. And
yeah, I know they actually made an appearance on 106 and Park.
Yeah.
Their Dirty Pop.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, pop album. Yeah, the album
that
Pop.
video was on 106 and Park, and I think Gone for a while.
Couple of songs, yeah, Gone with a straight R&B song. I don't care nobody say. Gone with the R&B song, and then don't forget Girlfriend too with Nelly.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one.
Yeah, Girlfriend Nelly. Yeah, that
really propelled them into the mainstream, because maybe that was played on rap stations too.
It did, and on the radio, and on like urban radio, like WLS 97. They played Girlfriend and they played Gone. So
that song propelled them right into it.
Yeah, and we already know the story from there. Justin became the biggest star, not only in pop, but he was on urban as well. So
damn right.
Yeah,
hooking up with Timberland and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he became one of the Timberland guys. You know, Timberland had a team. Justin is literally a part of that team, son.
Yeah, I remember. Definitely remember that.
Yeah, my guy Justin. All right, so let's go to the 2000s. We'll talk about a few groups from the 2000s, and it's funny because a lot of the groups in the 2000s had a lot of controversies. Four groups I'm gonna mention. So let me start with 3LW. Let's start with 3LW because yeah.
3LW had 3LW. I like this. I ain't gonna front. I like their songs. I ain't gonna lie. No More and Players Gonna Play was good songs.
It was.
But obviously, when they got to the second album, things got gone downhill because that was when Notori got kicked out and the other two was trying to hold it down.
Pretty much.
And with the controversy itself, just gave a bad rep to the name.
For real. And
everybody was making jokes on the TV saying 2LW.
Yeah, because remember when Notori was in the group, she got kicked out for the second album. It was them two for a little bit. Then they added another girl. They added a third girl, and
it didn't feel right after that.
It didn't feel right. Then the two girls from 3LW, they got signed to Disney, and then we had the Cheetah Girls. With Raven.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Right.
Yeah, with Raven and that other chick.
Yeah, I remember that now.
And they became big off of that. But for some reason, I thought the feel like with them because it was drumming in that group too. And it was drumming in that group. Raven left, and it was them three for a while, and that situation fell apart. And now everybody doing their own things. Two out of the three girls are doing big things right now. We all know the Tori is a big star. She was on Biggie movie. She got actress Biggie movie, and she was on Power and Power Book 2.
Yep.
And we know Adrienne is on The Real. She's doing big things on The Real.
Yep.
And Kelly, well, she through being a drama queen. So yeah, that what she's doing. And let's get to another controversial group, which kind of related both to them. B2K.
Oh wow.
B2K. Let's talk about B2K.
B2K. Oh my gosh, bro. You don't understand. Like it was when they was out, it was such a big deal, and it's like I remember because we were just enrolled in high school when they was big. Like it was such a big deal, and then they songs, people was running their songs in the CD player. It's like I could vividly remember this because it was like yesterday that B2K was a big deal, bro.
What girls were going crazy for them, son. Girls were going crazy for them. They had the screen tour, stuff like that. B2K was one of the biggest boy band in the 2000s at one point. It was one
point, yeah. That and merchandise, movies, like these guys weren't just selling music.
Yeah,
their branding was on point.
It was not the. I don't want to make this the wrong statement. They was like the Jackson of the 2000s. I don't want to make that a wrong statement, but it seemed like that what they were leader for at that time. Trying to make it a Jackson in the 2000s, but they were not the Jacksons.
I wouldn't put them as that though. I would just say they were a great guy group that made it like it was very unique because at that time nobody else had the height of success that B2K had. And it got to the point where everybody wanted to be like them. People were dressing like them because they were trendsetters and everything as well. They remember when we had I remember so vividly because it was like yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
Remember they had the belts?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, they did.
Everybody was freaking buying the belts. They had, I'm telling you, their branding sold off the shelf, bro.
They did.
They were a trendsetter before like most of the rappers that we know of were trendsetters.
That's true, and one thing we had to shout out Immature / I Am X, because Mark Houston, I believe, was the one that got P2K together, right? Or they were like family friend or something.
They were close. They were close. Yeah. Of course, they were close to each other. So they just got. Yeah, he got them together.
Yeah, but
he got them to Chris Stokes, whatever his name is.
Chris Stokes, yeah. But of course, it also they had BTKs in movies and stuff like that. But just like any boy group in the 2000s, they can't. Well, any group in 2000 in general, they can't get together. As well, B2K was another group that couldn't get together. Omarion left. He became the big breakout star. All of them was doing music some kind of way. They got back together later. They got back later to do a reunion tour. We worked for a little bit, and then it broke up again. All because Fizz was smashing Omarion baby mother. So yeah. And now Omarion is unbothered. So that's that.
But I mean, honestly, I think that to tell you the truth, if they didn't have no problems, they could have ran the whole 2000s. Don't get me wrong, bro.
I agree with you.
They could have been one of them groups that would have brought out like 5 or 6 albums in that decade.
I agree. I think they could have. I feel like if they did break up, they could have been big. They could have been really big. I agree with you on that, actually.
Because so much people were so disappointed when they heard the news that B2K broke up.
True. A lot of ladies, man. They were girls who were crying. I remember. I remember in Robeson, I was in the writing center, yo. And I'm chilling. I'm on the computer. Like, you know, the girls got to know, oh my God, B2K broke up. I'm like, yo, like Jean Louise, like dag. I remember the girls used to go crazy for them, son. Like,
we remember this so vividly, like it was yesterday, bro.
Yeah. And you know, since we talk about R&B groups in 2000, it's another group that I didn't have on my list. I don't know why I forgot to put them on my list. I talk about Pretty Ricky.
Whoa.
Yeah, they talk about Pretty Ricky. I know I drew a loop, but they were trying to be the 2000s of Jodeci. They were trying to be the bad boys of R&B in the 2000s.
I believe that.
With the sexual lyrics and stuff like that. And
I believe that.
Yeah, and they have hits. You know, my favorite is on the hotline for them. My favorite for them is on the hotline. Of course, just like any other groups in the 2000s, Pleasure P left the group.
Mm-hmm.
He left the group. He became the breakout star. But of course, eventually he came back later. And they're back together now. Because, you know, with all these groups breaking up, they came together. I believe they're all brothers, right? They're all brothers, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm not entirely sure if they are, but I think some of them are.
Yeah. But, you know, but they all got back together, and now they doing their thing. They got new songs out now, so good for them.
Pretty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky. Yeah. All right, so the last two groups we're gonna mention. Before we mention these two groups, we gotta talk about the history of making the band. So you ain't know, making the band started. It was this big thing in the 2000s, which started. And not a lot of people remember this, but the first making the band was building a group called O-Town, which was a pop group at first. It was a pop group. That was the first making the band. Then making the band 2, when Diddy took over, was the band, you know? And we know how that broke up. We don't have to talk about that. Which now making the band 3 and 4, we're going to talk about these two groups. First one is Danity Kane. Second one is Day 26. How do you feel about those two groups?
I wasn't a big fan of Danity Kane at all. It wasn't my thing. They were cute. But they had songs that was for me, so I didn't really care too much for them. You?
Danity Kane. I mixed feelings about Danity Kane. I mean, I was okay with them. I was okay with Danity Kane. They had some that did have some that I liked though, but that's all I can really say about them. I like the Danity Kane, but of course, just like any other group in the 2000s, they can't get it together. So
that's the theme right now, huh?
That is the theme right there, because all 2000s all the 2000 groups, they can't get it together. And then they broke up and got back together so many times as well. I feel like I lost count. Cause first it was 5, then all of them broke up, then with 5 again. Then he narrowed it down to 3. He kicked 2 of them out, now down to 3. Then he came broke up completely. Dawn went to do her solo projects, and then also went to do Dirty Money with Diddy. Then they got back together again with 4 girls. They got back together. Then one left, and because she got pregnant and wanted to start a family. Then with 3 of them, and now in 2020, Dawn and Aubrey is the only girls in Danny King. So
damn.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I didn't bother to listen to their latest stuff now because I'm like, why? But yeah, so let's talk about Day 26 though. Cause they're interesting. Let's talk about Day 26. How you feel about Day 26?
I liked their stuff. I had their albums. I had their first 2 albums. They had some great songs. It was a good group.
Yeah, I'm not gonna front, yo. Did he pick right when it came to Day 26? Their song was dope. I was a big fan of Day 26, man. I met one of them at Taj before, Robert.
Oh, you met Rob? Okay.
Yeah, I met Rob at Taj before. Yeah, they was a dope group. I liked them. And
I just wish that things were good, that they could have been longevity.
Yeah, cause like you mentioned the thing, they can't get it together. Cause they was on TV. They had 2 albums. Q left the group at one point. It was just them 4, which it didn't really hurt them that much. But that's the thing with Day 26 though.
Right.
When one left the group, it didn't hurt them. They would do still. It was like a little piece missing for them, but it didn't really hurt them. But then of course Q got back in the group, and now in 2020 Brian left the group and he went solo.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully one day we get all 5 of them, because I believe with the 10-year anniversary, I think 10, 11 year anniversary. And yeah, and they were trying to do the album, a 10-year tour, 10-year album. Cause they do make new music to this day. So yeah. All right, so Roddy, before we end this, we're gonna play a game called Play It or Toss It.
All right.
So how we're gonna do this is, I'm gonna say an artist's name. You either say play it or toss it, and if you say play it, name that artist's favorite song.
All right.
All right. So let's do this. Let's start off with so for real.
Play it.
Play it.
Candy Rain.
I agree. Play it as well. Candy Rain, and they got a song that was never been released, but I got it on my CD. The song called One Man with Jadakiss. I wish they would have put that song out. Oh, you want to hear it? I got it on MrGentleman like the podcast, so y'all can check it out. Y'all got it on episode 21, 22, I think. Yeah, you can hear that. Yeah. All right, next is Total.
Play It. Can't You See?
All right, same thing. Play It and Kissing You. Is yeah. All right, next is Public Announcement.
Play It, Mamacita.
I'm gonna say toss it for me. I'm gonna say.
You don't like none of that stuff.
I mean, I did, but one song I know, but we can't talk about him on here. So yeah.
Oh, got it.
he was also part of the group.
Oh
yeah. Y'all should already know who that is. All right, Mr.
Play It. That's the one with Blueberry thing.
Yeah. I do want to agree, but I'm not sure what other songs they have though. I only heard one song, but we do know fun fact, out of Mr. Bobby Valentino was the breakout star for that group.
Yes, my boy Bobby V, bro.
Dude,
making his tracks in the late 2000s in the R&B thing.
Y'all never heard of Bobby Valentino, which I should. You gotta check out his first album. Woo, the album, the classic, and his third album. So I would say recommend you those two albums, Joe, because those two albums are dope.
I think everybody's old enough for Bobby V.
Yeah, I know. I just say, I just throw it out there because some people don't know. Okay. All right. So next is Silk.
I have a song from them. Play It is a meeting in my bedroom.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. All right. Next is Black.
I like both Black songs. So Play It, 808, and Bring It All to Me.
Yeah, I agree with you. Play It, and it's the same two songs for Black. All right. 702.
What song do I like from 702?
Cause I got a fun fact. I want to see if you know. You should know this though. You should know this.
I think Play It, Get It Together.
I wasn't thinking that, but I do like that song too. That is one of my favorite songs. But here's a fun fact: 702 was the theme song to Cousin Skeeter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Stilo song. They switched it up.
Yeah. There you go, Stilo. Yeah. But Get It Together is one of my favorite songs for 702. Also, their last album when they had with Pharrell, when they did with Star Trek, that last album was kind of dope. Pharrell. Yeah, Pharrell. Yeah, you can tell it's a Pharrell album with his producing on it. It's dope. I got to check it out.
But with 702, they had with Get It Together, Roddy Ricch sampled it for the Ballin' song.
Yeah, Pharrell. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Shout out to Roddy Ricch, yo. Alright, next is Intro.
Toss. I don't know what songs they got.
I'm a toss it as well. I do know one song. Let Me Be the One. Let Me Be the One. And they got a song called Let Me Be. It's Mary J. Blige sampled that song with Not Today. No, not today. Ooh. They go ooh. Like she sampled that. She sampled on Intro song. Let Me Be the One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think you might like the next artist. Rough End.
Play It, No More Shopping Sprees.
I like their song, but it's not really a group that I really care for too much. I probably go to Toss It. But I do like No More Shopping. I do like No More Shopping Sprees and the other song that they have. Casey and JoJo.
Play It, All My Life.
Play It and Tell Me It's Real.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And of course, All My Life and stuff like that. They got a lot of songs that I like from them. Also Crazy. They got a lot of songs I like.
They had a couple hits.
Yeah. We also next is At the 7.
Toss. I don't know their stuff.
Toss It as well. I believe that Babyface brother group. I believe that his group. At the 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, next is Color Me Bad.
Nah, Toss It.
I agree, Toss It. There's not really a lot of songs I like from them. I agree, Toss It. Changes Faces.
Play. I like a song from them. I like the Get Out song and All of My Days from them.
For me, even though my sisters brought the album when I was younger, I'm gonna Toss It. I was not too much of a big fan of them that much.
None of their stuff?
Not really. I mean, I could have heard their stuff before, but I just wasn't. It wasn't a hit for me. It wasn't a hit for me. All right, the next group, High Five.
They got the one song, but it's not my top favorite song. So toss it for me.
Dang, son. I'm gonna say play it. The Kissing Game, man. That's one of my songs. Which, fun fact, Usher sampled this song off his new song, "Don't Waste My Time," which will also mix with a back of Jason sample as well. So yeah. All right, next is In Vogue.
They had a song I like. Oh, That Whatever's Play It, That Whatever song.
I think I know what you're about. I'm gonna toss it, but I do like one song from them though, and that's Never Gonna Get It. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Oh,
yeah.
You like Never Gonna Get It? So
Yeah, but that's the only song I play. But I don't like nothing enough from them.
Well, that's what I said. I just like the one song from them too. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll probably take that one song out and then talk the whole CD. That's what I do. Yeah. Mint Condition.
I wasn't a big fan of them. Toss it.
I like a couple songs from them, so I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna put of course Pretty Brown Eyes is my favorite song from them though. Next is Immature.
My boy's in there, so I gotta play it.
Facts. But let's do this. Immature and IMX. If you whatever era you like from them, you can pick from both eras.
Well, I like a couple songs from the IMX era than the Immature because they were more. I was more visual around the time, but of course for the Immature, doing my thing with Ed from Kel Mitchell, and then IMX you have My First Time and Won't You Stay the Night.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it as well. For Immature, the same song with Kel on it, and it's another song. We got it for Immature, and IMX is My First Time. And the last one,
Houston boy, breakout
Marcus Houston, my guy, Marcus Houston, the breakout star. He was an actor. He's an actor. Yeah, he do a big thing. He's still doing the big thing to this day. He had a solo. He went solo. Yeah, I always like Marcus Houston. I like Marcus Houston. And last but not least, Escape.
To this day, I only like one song from them. And that's My Little Secret.
Yeah, pretty much. Same here. I don't know. Even though Escape was another big girl group, I was not too much of a big fan of them like that though.
Same here. It just wasn't for me too.
Yeah. It wasn't clicking. I don't know. I mean, they're not a bad group. It just wasn't clicking for me though. But you ain't no Retro, DJ Retro. Thank you for coming on the show, and I appreciate you always, man. And you ain't the old school show, man. I'm happy to have you join in on MrGentleman like that podcast family. I appreciate you, bro. And drop your social media and where they can reach you and stuff like that, man.
Well, right now I'm in the process of revamping, but you just look for me on IG. RODDYFE. That's my page right now. That's in progress. But yeah, thanks for listening to the Old School Show, where we talk everything old school.
You already know. You will see us again, in this December episode. You see us again in the December episode. Also, you can check us out each and every Friday or wherever we come back with new episodes on our Premier Podcast. Myself, Mr. Aaron Sands, DJ Retro, and Long Live the Chief, Mally Mel, on the Premier Podcast as well. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, like the podcast and the Premier Boy podcast. And this commercial is brought to you by the Premier Boy podcast, where where we talk about anything about the culture. Hosted by myself, Ken, aka MrGentleman, Mr. Aaron Sands from King Talk with Aaron Sands, the star Roddy Ride, who is also my co-host of the Old School Show, and long live the Chief Mally Mel. And we talk many topics from politics, music, sex, love, relationships, and many more. And also every topic that's going on in the news right now. Many of our topics are very controversial, and the podcast show might not be for everybody because we talk about many explicit content. And yeah, so if y'all decided to check out the show, y'all be warned because y'all might need a drink or two. And yeah, because this podcast is so crazy. I'm shocked that it had not got canceled yet. So if y'all looking forward to listen to the Premier Boy podcast, check it out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Each and every Wednesday at 12 a.m. You can check out the Premier Boy podcast with myself, Mr. Aaron Sands, Star Roddy Rod, and Long Little Chief Mally Mel. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman. Have a good day and night wherever you're listening to this episode. Now back to the show. Yeah! I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to MrGentleman, like the podcast presents the Old School Show, episode 2. Thank you to my co-host, the bro, DJ Retro, for doing the show with me. I appreciate you, brother. And if you haven't had enough of us, check us out on the Premier Boy podcast with myself, Mr. Aaron Sands, DJ Retro, and long live the Chief Mally Mel. Each and every Friday, y'all can see new episodes from us. We about to end season 1 of the Premier Boy podcast in December, so look out for us. If y'all want to be a guest on the Old School Show, y'all could send me emails. Ken, YPGENT at gmail.com, and y'all get to see me a bio of yourself and what you do, so y'all have a guest slot on the show. And y'all already know the Old School Show each and every 4th or 5th Sunday. Remember, it's once a month, y'all. The Old School Show is once a month. We will be back in December for another new episode. And y'all can check me out on MrGentleman, the podcast each and every Sunday on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and many more. So once again, y'all, I thank y'all for tuning in to the new episode, and have a good night or day whenever you listen to this episode.
My name is Bronx Boom Boom, and you are now listening to the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.